Woo! What's going on, guys? Owens Forum coming at you with another video, and we got another preview. We got the NFC Divisional Round 2 coming up tomorrow night. Well, tomorrow during the day, actually 3 p.m. on Sunday, the Sunday start. Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming into Ford Field, Round 2, Detroit Lions. Man, it's Round 2, baby. It's Round 2, and the Lions are hosting another playoff game. Bucs are coming into town, and let's take care of some business for these Detroit Lions. Now let's get to the injury front right away. Got my little book handy here. Buccaneers, let me start them first. They are the road team, and they got a couple guys questionable. They're fairly healthy, but outside linebacker Shaq Barrett, not sure what his injury is. It says injury. I don't know what I wrote. I don't know what I wrote there, so I don't know why I just wrote injury. But he was at limited practice, and he is questionable. Running back Chase Edmonds has a toe injury, limited practice, questionable. Quarterback John Wolford, illness, did not practice. He is questionable as well. That's their backup. Kyle Trask is there too. He's their main backup though. Kyle Trask. Outside linebacker Yaya Diaby, shoulder, full practice, no injury designation. Wide receiver Chris Godwin, he's got a knee and some personal things. Did not practice on Friday though, but he has no injury designation. He should be a go. And quarterback Baker Mayfield is who's banged up. He is a starting quarterback for this team. Ankle, rib injuries, full practice. He is a good to go for Sunday afternoon. So some injuries on the front there, but nothing too serious. Sorry about the Shaq Barrett thing. I don't know why I just wrote injury. Strange. Not sure what's wrong with him. Maybe a shoulder. I'm not sure. I'm guessing not at that point. Now the Lions, wide receiver Khalif Raymond, missing him. Knee injury. That's 2 games in a row, 2 playoff games. Did not practice. He officially out. Linebacker James Houston looks like he's activated for this football game. They ended up releasing Julian Aquara or waiving him. Don't know if anybody picked him up yet. I'm not sure what's going on. Decent pass rusher for the Lions. Just couldn't get going. A lot of injuries in Detroit. Has a little bit of a skill set, but could not crack this lineup for a long periods of time. But James Houston back, it looks like, back in the mix. Ankle, full practice. He is questionable. It looks like he will be going, though. At least he's activated and on the roster. Tight end Sam Laporta with knee. He's got that knee injury. He was limited on Friday. He's questionable to go. Hopefully he's going. Hopefully there was no little setbacks or anything like that. But I think they're just being careful with him. Linebacker Alex Anzalone, shoulder and ribs, full practice, no injury designation. Nickel corner Brian Branch, the rookie at Alabama, knee, full practice, no injury designation. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, personal, did not practice on Friday, no injury designation. Free safety Kirby Joseph, the kneecap biter, clean hit, legal hit by the way, for Kirby Joseph. What else is he going to do? He's playing football. He goes high. He's possibly going to get killed. He goes high. It's probably going to be a flag for helmet to helmet, and he's doing his job. So Kirby Joseph got a knee injury, full practice. He is a go. Center Frank Ragnow, knee, back, toe, rest, full practice, no injury designation. And tight end Brock Wright with the hip, full practice, no injury designation. Looks like he's going too. So really the only big loss is Khalif Raymond, which hurts because he's a really good special teamer, and he catches 1 or 2 balls a game that are pretty big chunks. So, missing Khalif is pretty big. Donovan Peoples-Jones will probably be taking over those punt return, kick return duties, whatever duties that he does on special teams, and he does them well. But Donovan Peoples-Jones has the experience in doing those. So NFL rankings, go to the offense. We do the offense first, do the Bucs first because they're the road team. And I'm doing this strictly off regular season, guys. I'm not doing this off playoff stats just yet because we're only round 1. But the Buccaneers did put up some numbers against the Eagles. We'll talk about that later. Yards per game, 313 for the Bucs total, 23rd in the NFL. Rush per game, they're only rushing for 88.88 yards a game. That puts them at 32. That's last in the league. Per rush, 3.4 yards per rush. That puts them at 32, dead last. Passing per game, 224.2, puts them at 17th, so around middle of the pack. QBR, 94.2. Baker's has some success. That puts them at 10. They've given up 40 sacks. That puts them tied for 10th. Third down percentages are turning into first downs at a 41.5% clip. That tied for 9th. So they are getting first downs, which is pretty impressive. Their possession per game, 29 minutes, 25 seconds on offense. That puts them at 25th, so it's not a lot of time. Points per game, they're scoring only 20.5 points a game. That puts them at 23rd. So, they're passing the ball fairly well. They don't run the ball whatsoever. They can't run the ball. They don't have the personnel. They don't have the line, I don't think, to do it. Tristan Wirfs is their stud left tackle. But other than that, they don't have an explosive offense whatsoever. But they got two really good wide receivers. Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer, and then you got Chris Godwin. Those two guys are problems, and we'll talk about them in a bit. Now let's go to the Lions offense. Yards a game, that's total 394.8, puts them at third in the NFL. They rush for 135.9 yards a game, fifth in the NFL. Per rush, 4.6 yards per carry, fifth. They're passing for 258.9 points a game. Yards a game, puts them at number 2, which is excellent. Right behind Miami, explosive. The QBR is 98.1, puts them at 5th, so Goff's got some success against teams. Sacks, only giving up 31 sacks on the season. That's tied for 4th. And then third down percentages turning into first downs, 41.5%. That ties them for 9th in the NFL. And then they are 31 minutes, 21 seconds possession average per game on offense. That puts them at 5th, so that's good. And then they're scoring 27.1 points a game, puts them at 5th in the NFL. That's an elite offense, guys. Whether you believe me or not, whether anybody wants to believe me, that's what it is. I know there's a lot of Goff haters out there. I was one of them at one point. But hey, he's playing great football as of right now. He's got good weapons, a great O-line, that's key. He's getting the job done. So the O-line, Ben Johnson, you can just go a list of guys that are responsible for this, and I'm giving out flowers to all of them. So, they had a great year. And it's an offense that Bucs defense is going to have to handle because they are a top A unit. Now let's go to the defense. Buccaneers, yards a game. That's total 344.2 yards that they're giving up. That's 23rd in the NFL. Rushing per, they can play the run really well. 95.3 yards a game. That's 5th overall, so not tied, just 5th. Per rush, 3.8. That puts them at 4th. Passing per game, 248.9 they give up. It puts them at 29th. QBR, 92, puts them at 23rd. We got 48 sacks on the year. That's tied for 7th. They got to Jalen Hurts, I think, the other night, too. But the defense played really well against the Eagles. Their third down percentage is a stoppage at 40. The teams are converting at a 40.9%. That puts them at 25th, so teams are getting first downs on them. Possession, they're on the field 30 minutes and 34 seconds, 24th. And they're only giving up points per game during the regular season. They only gave up 19.1 points a game, that tied for 6th. So, it's kind of an inconsistent defense. You can pass at them. It's very tough to run on them. And it'll be strength versus strength with us running against them, with our run offense and their run defense. We live off the play action. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But that defense over there in Tampa Bay, it's underrated. They can get to the quarterback. They got two beasts inside at the nose tackle position, DT, a position of Vita Vea. They got good fast linebackers. They get to the quarterback, but you can pass on them. So you gotta have a really good line. You gotta have a really good line, and we're up to the task. We're really up to the task, and if we can hold that defense to getting the Goff, we're going to win this game. But let's go to the Lions defense. Yards a game, 336.1. That puts us at 19th in the NFL. We're rushing, stopping the run at 88.8 yards per game. That puts us at number 2 in elite run defense. Per rush, 3.7. That puts us at 3rd in the NFL. Teams are passing on us at 247.4 total yards a game. For passing, that puts at 27th. A little bit worse than the Bucs. I was surprised at that. QBR rating for Goff. QBR rating for defenses, for our defense against quarterbacks in the NFL, was at a 91.5 QBR rating. Puts it at 22. We only got to the quarterback 41 times. Tied for 25th. That needs to be addressed. Hopefully James Houston can bring some of that. We'll talk about that. And then the third down percentages. Third downs turning into first downs at a clip of 37.1% is tied for 10th. So we are stopping third downs at a decent rate. Possession wise, we're on the field at 28 minutes 53 seconds. That puts us at 28th. And no, that's not right. That puts us, yeah. And then 23.2 points per game. That puts us at 23rd in the NFL. So we're doing some good things there. That 28 minutes, 20 should not be 38. It should be a lot lower. It should not be 28. It should be a lot lower than that. Don't know the math because we're better than the Bucs with you don't want your defense. Put it this way, you don't want your defense on the field much. Okay, and we're at less than the Bucs, and they're 24th, and we shouldn't be 28th. I think I messed it up. So I think we're like top 7, top 8 right there. We're not 28th. I mixed that up. My bad. We are actually doing well in that department. I'm going to say we're around middle of the pack. Let's just say that. Middle of the pack. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. But we're giving up 23.2 points a game, 23rd. That's not bad. It's still, around, a little bit better, a little bit worse than average, obviously, but we need to get better at that too, at stopping teams from scoring. And I think we have done that in the past month or so. Now let's go to the rosters. Buccaneers, quarterback Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask. We go to the Bucs because of the road team. Running back Rashad White. Chase Edmonds is a little bit banged up. Sean Tucker, the rookie. Wide receiver Mike Edmonds, Chris Godwin, two guys I'm really worried about, especially Evans. Trey Palmer, the rookie, and then David Moore, who had a big game last week against the Eagles. So a big catch and run anyways. Tight end, Cade Otton. Left tackle, Tristan Wirfs, who's one of the best. Left guard, Aaron Stinney. Center, Robert Hainsey. Right guard, Cody Mach, the rookie. Then right tackle, Luke Godicke. And then Nick Leverett, Brandon Walton, kind of backing those guys up right there on offense. So, it's an offense that I'm not too concerned about in Tampa Bay. No disrespect. Mike Evans and Godwin are absolute animals, especially Evans. But other than that, you got Wirfs, who's a stud, though, at left tackle. But this is an offense that can be exploited, at least a little bit. And then the defense, the Bucs, it was a very underrated defense. I think it's a good defense. Defensive end, Logan Hall, William Golson hanging out. Nose tackle, Vita Vea, who's I think one of the best nose tackles in the NFL. Defensive end, Kalijah Cansey, Pat O'Connor, who's played for Detroit. Offensive linebacker, Shaq Barrett, who can get to the quarterback, Anthony Nelson. Inside linebacker, Devin White, KJ Britt. Inside linebacker, Levante David. Two guys that I'm really worried about, too, in that defense is White and David. They played pretty well against us the last time we met them. And we beat them last time 20-6. So I think it'll be a little bit different of a game. But those guys did have a pretty decent game, especially Levante David, if I can remember correctly. Edge, Yaya Diaby, Joe Tyron Shoyinka, who had a couple pass breakups, I think, on last game, couple balls knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Cornerbacks, Carlton Davis III, strong safety, Ryan Neal, free safety, Antoine Winfield Jr., who's I think one of the best safeties in the NFL, if not the best. He is a playmaker. He's vocal. He's in your face. He gets the job done. He makes plays. He does everything well that you want in a free safety. I think he's one of the best in the NFL, and he's a good one. Look out for him. Cornerback Jamal Dean, then nickel corner Christian Izier, rookie, and then Josh Hayes, the other rookie. So you got a couple rookies over there in that nickel spot. I think Amon-Ra is going to have a day. I don't think they're going to put a rookie on him anyways. If they did, good luck. But I expect big things. Now the offense, the Lions, quarterback Jared Goff, Teddy Bridgewater, hooker on that emergency 3. Running back Josh Gibbs, David Montgomery, Craig Reynolds. We're going to see a lot of Gibbs, a lot of Montgomery. And then wide receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, who had a big game last week versus the Rams. Jameson Williams needed to get more involved. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Antoine Green. Are we going to see a guy get called up? But you see, I don't think we saw anybody called up as that 5th or 6th guy last week, because Donovan Peoples-Jones took back kicks because Khalif was out. So I don't see a Tom Kennedy. I don't see a Maurice Alexander. Anything could be possible though. Then tight end Sam Laporta, the rookie. Brock Wright, Anthony Frisker, kind of rounding off the tight ends there. Laporta, he's questionable. He should be a go. Should be no problem. If not, it's the Brock Wright show. Left tackle Taylor Decker, left guard Jonah Jackson, center Frank Ragnow, right guard Graham Glasgow, Panay Sewell, right tackle kind of rounding that off too as well. Great O-line play. Some weaknesses there, obviously, I think in our O-line, but as a unit, they're extremely tough. And then you got Coyote, Ewasika, Skipper, and you got Colby Sorzo, the rookie, kind of rounding off there, kind of backing those guys up if needed be. Now, the defense, Josh Pascal, defensive end. We got Kaminsky, Charles Harris. Nose tackle, Benito Jones, Broderick Martin, the rookie out of Western Kentucky. Don't see a lot of him, though. Defensive tackle, Liam McNeil, who had a lot of pressures last week against the Rams. Levi Nuzarike. Other defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson, who's on a tear right now. Romeo Aquara, Houston back in the mix, too, as well. Will linebacker, Alex Anzalone, Jalen Reeves-Maben. Middle linebackers, Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez. Sam linebacker, Jack Campbell, the rookie out of Iowa. And then Anthony Pittman, more of a special teams guy. Cornerbacks, Kendall Vildor, Chase Lucas, kind of backing him up. Strong safety, Ifiedo Melifonwu, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Those guys are on a rotation right now. Free safety, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker III. Cornerback, Cam Sutton, Cleo Dorsey. Get your vibes up for Cam Sutton. Get a little prayer going on if that's what your thing is, because he needs some help. And then nickel corner, Brian Branch, the rookie out of Alabama, and Will Harris kind of rounding that off, backing him up. Now let's talk about this Bucs offense and defense, talk this Lions offense and defense. Like I said about this Bucs offense, you don't know what Baker Mayfield, you don't know what kind of Baker Mayfield you're going to get week in and week out. Now, you had a great game against the Eagles. Not trying to disrespect that win or anything, but it was a great win for that Tampa Bay organization, for that team alone. That Eagles team imploded. We saw the way they played at the end of the year. The last 2 months of football was absolutely abysmal. Pretty much gave up on their coach, it seemed like, or just gave up in general. Don't know if it was any personal vendetta. I know there was some things possibly going on in that locker room, it sounds like, from the stuff you read. I'm not there, obviously. But, they laid a whipping on that Eagles team offensively. But like Pat Caputo said, and I don't really quote Pat Caputo much, he quoted Forrest Gump. He quoted Forrest Gump about Baker Mayfield. He's like, Baker Mayfield's like a box of chocolates. You just don't know which one you're going to get. And it's true. You open up that box, you don't know what kind of Baker you're going to get. You're going to get the Baker that's going to go throw for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and look like the superstar, look like the number 1 overall pick. Or you're going to get the Baker Mayfield that throws for 170 yards, 3 picks, and a fumble, and 1 touchdown. You don't know. He's got great weapons to throw to, 2 great wide receivers. Evans is a stud. Godwin is great. You got Cade Otton, who's a solid tight end. Nothing special, but he can get the job done, Otton. They have a really good left tackle. After that, they don't have a running game whatsoever. Rachaad White was supposed to be this breakout performer. He didn't do it. Is that all his fault? No. But it's just, it's a good offense, but it's not. You just don't know what you're going to get from them. I am concerned about these wide receivers 100%. I think they're going to dot us up. I think Baker's going to throw darts all day. But if you can get to him, he's going to have to drop back 50 times. He's going to have to drop back 50 times because you're not running on us. You're not running on us, and he's bound to make a mistake. 1, 2, 3, whatever mistakes, however many mistakes he makes, he's going to make them. It's going to happen. It should anyways. It should, because our defense is opportunistic. It's not a great defense whatsoever through the air. It's terrible. We're not a good run. We're a great run defense. We're not even a good pass defense. We have trouble getting to the quarterback. Hopefully James Houston can help. Limited snaps, it'll be on him probably. We'll see what happens there. But that Bucs offense does not scare me. Through the air, it does. Overall, it does not. So, who knows what you're going to get there. And then that defense in Tampa Bay, it's a solid defense. It's a very solid defense. You have trouble running on them. We're going to try to run on them. Hopefully we can be some success. I know last time we played them, there was no Jahmyr Gibbs. Monty went out in the second quarter. We didn't run very well. Goff had a great game through the air. That was the one game that they had to rely on Jared Goff to get the job done, and he did. He got that job done. Amon-Ra had a big day, like a big day. I don't know who else had a big day on that offensively through the air. Maybe it was Josh Reynolds. I should have put that down. I didn't. But Goff had a very nice day. Threw for 300-something yards, a couple touchdowns. We only scored 20 points, though. Only scored 20 points, but we were in control pretty much that whole game because Tampa only scored 6. Now, our Lions offense against that defense, like I said, Goff lives off the play action, kind of like Baker does. Baker's all. I watched that Tampa Bay game against the Eagles. I was at work, though. I was trying to watch. I'm kind of going off the thing here. I was trying to watch that game a little bit. Every time you see Baker go back, he's always play actioning. Even when nobody's even there. Even though he's there, he's just kind of, he's fake. He's faking the run. Goff's the same way. But we actually have a running game. So I think it works better for us. We're going to have to pass, I think, to win this football game. We are going to run, though. And we're going to have to rely on Goff again. Amon-Ra, I think Amon-Ra's going to have a field day. I think Laporta's going to have a good day. J-Mo, I think, is going to have another big day. He had a big touchdown against Tampa Bay last time, too. Big, long touchdown, 40, 50 yards, whatever it was. It was a bomb. So, I just think we're going to run the ball well, and I think we're going to pass the ball extremely well, too. They do have some giddy up to the quarterback. They can get to the quarterback, but our O-line is up for the task. And our defense, play the run like we always do. Play the run like we do every single week, which we do extremely well. And then you just got to limit the scoring. And that's what we've been doing lately. Past month, it seems like that. We're getting gashed through the air. We're getting fisted. We're getting fisted by teams, man. Getting fisted by teams through the air. And but we're limited scoring. Red zone defense has been locked down. I think we're way better in a phone booth. when we play defense. In space, we're terrible. I think in space, we're absolutely horrific. Especially our corners. Our corners play way too off. Cam Sutton lets guys run by. He is playing with a little bit of an injury. I don't think he was on the injury report again, I think, this week. Was he? If he wasn't, actually he wasn't on the injury report this week. He was on the injury report because he's got that toe and heel issue going on. Maybe he's healed up, but he's in for a war. He's going up against Mike Evans. And I don't like the matchup. I think he's going to get destroyed. I just do. Does it make me any less of a fan? I still think we're winning the ball game, but I think we're in trouble. They're going to have to switch. They're going to have to kind of try to kind of have guys follow Sutton around because he's going to have to get doubled up on Mike Evans. Might see a Kirby Joseph leaning over there. You might see a Brian Branch leaning over there, or whoever, C.J. Garner-Johnson, whoever, helping him out. And then on the other side, you got Chris Godwin, who's going to be a problem. He's a huge problem. For anybody that goes up against him, it's going to be Brian Branch. If it's going to be Kindle Vildor, it's going to be Chase Lucas. If it's going to be anybody out there, CJ, anybody, that guy is a problem. He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. But they're not running on us. They're not running the football on us. Teams don't do that. They can't do it. We overpower teams in the run game defensively wise. So this game's going to have to be won on Baker, and I just don't see how they're going to do it. And their defense is going to have to play lights out against our offense. And I don't think that's going to happen either. They do have a very underrated defense, like I've said for the 100th time, though. It's a very underrated defense in Tampa. They can get the job done. Will they? I don't think so. So I'm picking the Detroit Lions. I know they're favored by 6.5, whatever the line's at now. I don't know. We're winning by double digits. 26-16, Detroit Lions. No disrespect to Tampa Bay, but I think we're too strong. We're at home. Ford Field is an absolute zoo. There's guys out in the NFL Network that have been doing this for years. Analysts, the commentators, whatever. I think it was Stacey Dale. She's one of them. She's like loudest I've ever heard in my life at any stadium I've ever been. She's been to Kansas City. She's been to Seattle. Those two stadiums are known for the loudness. And she said it's never been that loud ever. She's never heard anything that loud ever. That's saying something. And Baker Mayfield was on the horn talking to all his buddies, some buddies that played on LA that he knows or whatever, played with, just friends. And they were like, Baker, you're in for a treat. It's loud. You won't be able to hear anything. Jared Goff even said last week that they couldn't eat when they were on the sidelines doing their like review of the last series. He was saying that they couldn't even hear when the defense was on the field, that they had to stop talking because they couldn't even hear. They couldn't even hear what was going on whatsoever. Then once the play was done, then that's when they started talking again. That's how loud it was. And we need these fans to be even louder. I think it's going to be even louder. There was like a decibel level of 133 point something. I think it was the loudest ever recorded in a stadium for a sporting event, I believe it was. Let's get that to 135, 140. Let's see if we can. I wish I was there. But Detroit's winning this game 26-16. It's going to be a great game, though. It's going to be a good football game, 3 p.m. Sunday. Don't forget, man. It's going to be fun. So thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming in and watching the video. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Let's go, man. Detroit Lions, round 2, baby. Playoffs. One pride. Detroit versus everybody. Let's go, baby. Boom. Woo!